Well, hello there guys, Agrippa Maxenius here, coming at you with a quick gameplay video of Mare Nostrvm. This is a historical game which allows you to play a lot of naval battles in the ancient time period, from about 300 BC to about 30 BC. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump into a battle that I know somewhat well. I'm hoping I do better. There's a ton of different battles. We can actually play as Sparta against Athens or vice versa. But I think for my first one, I'm going to go for the First Punic War. This is, of course, the war between the Romans and Carthage. So as you can see, I am going to be taking the Romans, of course. I do love my Romans, I must admit. And as you can see, we've got these ships here. We want to take a look at the Carthaginian line. Now, they're approaching in a straight line formation. Believe it or not, this is actually a very difficult formation to get out of. I'm not saying it's a bad formation. It's just not a good formation to use if you intend on ramming your enemy, because you're not going to be able to get these ships out of line. You're going to basically have to back them up, almost like a truck, to be able to move any of them out. Let's go ahead and get started, guys. This is turn one. Oh, sorry, I zoomed in all the way there. And we are, of course, taking a look here at turn one. Ships are advancing towards the enemy fleet. And I'm hoping that our Romans on board know how to do some fighting, because we do need a victory here. And I'd like our first video of Mare Nostrvm to be a victorious one. Also want you guys to let me know in the comments down below whether or not you want to see more Mare Nostrvm. And you can do that by hitting the like button and adding a comment about what you think about combat, naval combat in this time period. Look at those beautiful ships moving towards the enemy. I think what we're going to go for is probably a boarding, primarily because I think our men, we have more men on our ships. I think we have more men on our ships than the enemy, but not really. That being said, we're going to have to approach this in a certain way. Now, at any point, you can actually hit this button, fast forward your turn, and of course, start from there. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to go ahead and once again, just moving forward. Once again, just moving forward with these guys, not grappling onto anybody yet. We'll have time for that. And just moving forward, once again, not grappling. We have to be careful, because if we move our guys too quickly, we could actually force them to go faster. They're going to get tired. The rowers here are going to get tired. And that's going to cause problems, obviously, with your entire fleet. Not good at all. One thing that's interesting about rowers in general is there's this misconception that rowers were slaves. This was very uncommon. Most of the time, rowers were normal citizens, normal Roman citizens, normal Carthaginian citizens that would actually be paid to take these jobs. So as you can see here, guys, already we've got the enemy firing arrows at us. We're returning fire, and I think we're going to move these ships individually now. I'm definitely going to grapple onto this guy. I'm going to try to grapple onto this guy here, and I'm going to do the same with this guy. Now, that guy with the flag on the back, that's our commander. Honestly, I'd rather he doesn't get hurt. I'm going to actually try to ram forward here. I don't know if it's going to work out, but we're going to see, and I'm going to grapple here. So if the ram fails, we can at least grapple. Let's see what we can do with this guy. We can go ahead and actually grapple here as well. With these guys, I'm going to do pretty much the same thing, one little difference, and that is that I'm going to try to ram with this ship over here. As I'm doing that, I will grapple onto whatever's in front of us there. And again, these ships are both sort of in a pattern where one is behind the other. So we want to be careful how we approach this. This guy, for instance, I want to cancel that move, switch over to ramming. Even though I don't think we'll get the ram, we're going to go for it. And over here on the right side, this is going to be an interesting one. We might go for some rams. So let's actually go for a full ram here and see what happens. May not work out, but it might. We'll have to go ahead and see. Here we go, guys. It begins. Come on, boys. Everybody's firing arrows at this point. And, of course, one way to win this battle is to kill all of the enemies on board the other ships. So there we go. Now, of course, the units are raking oars, and our men have managed to grapple on board. Now our men are actually attacking the ship. Raking oars, by the way, is quite interesting. So what happens is both of the ship's rowers try to break the oars of the other ship, and you can actually cripple a ship that way. That's what's happened over here. And actually, one of our ships was knocked over, and will be sinking very, very soon. So at this point, our ships are assisting by firing here at this Carthaginian ship. And if we can manage to destroy this thing, well, or take over, I should say, well, then we just captured an enemy ship. And with that, we can mess around a bit. As you can see, we've captured this ship already. There's still a few ships here that haven't been captured. A lot that have, though. Now, they did knock over one of our ships. What about our rammers? How's this going? Oh. Unfortunately, we're crippled. Otherwise, this would actually go pretty well. So I'm going to still try to ram Let me see if I can get a nice ram here. As you guys can see, I'm going forward with utmost ferocity, like with just extreme speed, extreme ferocity. Not all of our guys can move, though. Remember what I told you before about having to move back? Yeah, that's probably going to be the case here. We will keep moving forward with the ships that are alright. And one thing that's important also is you want to keep your ships close to your commander. If your ships move away from your commander, they'll actually try to return to the battle at cruising speed, and they could get in a lot of trouble doing that. They could actually end up injuring themselves, etc. So we don't want that to happen. With this guy, I'm going to go ahead and try a ram here. We're going to go ahead and get started, guys. The battle continues. But I think this guy's going to ram into our ship, actually. Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, now one interesting thing just happened. He did ram into us. It doesn't feel great, but what he did was he fouled our ship. This means that the front of his ship is underneath the center of our ship. And there's a chance, it's not a definite chance, but there's a chance that when our ship sinks, it's going to take the Carthaginian ship down with it. That's right. That's talk about ancient naval tactics. Also, we managed to knock down one of the enemy ships. So we did knock down that Carthaginian ship. Feel pretty proud of that. He's in the water, but he's fouled our ship as well, guys. That's going to be a bit more serious and probably going to take a lot more to deal with. But as you can see, we're firing here on the enemy, and we're going to keep that up. We're going to try to wipe out as many enemy troops as possible here with just continuous missile fire. A lot of the enemy crew and a lot of the enemy navy is basically over here on the right side, which is a little confusing to me. But as you can see, we're actually doing really well. We've taken so many ships at this point. We've managed to capture so many ships that I'm thinking if we keep this up, we very well could win this game. Now, I'm going to try to grapple onto that ship, and I'm going to take this guy and try to grapple onto that ship this way. Well, maybe we could do this, and something like that. I don't know if that's going to work. But the fact is, we've captured quite a few of the enemy ships at this point, and now we have to decide what we want to do. I think one thing I want to do, if I can, is ram through the enemy, but I don't think it's going to work. We're still going to try, but it's probably not going to work out very well for us. And we definitely don't want that ship moving when we do it. Here we go, guys. Yep, he's going to try to get away, sure enough. He's trapped inside basically just a hail of arrows. And that's one reason this might work out actually very well for us. So we'll have to see how this actually goes. But it's very good that he's actually trying to get out of that central area. He knows he's in trouble. And that obviously works out for us. So some ships still fouled up there, and some ships still fouled up over here. I want to see one of these guys sink pretty soon, because I want to see if it will take the other ship down with it. And we'll try to get a close-up examination of that sinking procedure if it happens this turn. It can take any number of turns for a ship to sink in this game, but here I'm hoping it's not going to take too long. So there we go. That ship is cut off and destroyed. They're not only cut off from their commander, but they're getting shot at left and right. I feel pretty confident that we are going to take that one out pretty soon. So we don't necessarily have to capture a ship. We can just kill everybody on board. Just as good. Sometimes better. Okay. Still fouled up there, but we're continuing the assault. And just to close them in a little bit more, I am going to try and grapple. As you can see, we've got an enemy ship over here on the side, and I wouldn't mind actually laying into him. So I want to see if our men will support us here. In the meantime, I'm going to try to go for those ships. But as you can see, this ship that we have over here, it's not as strong as a lot of our other ships. It's kind of smaller, not as big, basically. Let's see. Okay, that's another one of our ships down there. Come on, boys. Kill them all. Now, they're coming in for what I think is a ramming maneuver. They could definitely get a lot of damage here. And obviously, it looks like these guys are going to rake oars. Let's see if this ship's going down yet. Not yet. Wow. So that fouled ship is cut off at the very least. Even if it doesn't go down with our ship, we've taken off a bunch of the guys on board. You can actually take a look here, see the name of the ship, see the amount of units on board. This one has 30, for instance, and we're really trying to reduce that to 0 on all of their ships. As you can see, yep, they rammed, and they succeeded with that ram. It's actually a very good ramming maneuver there, and they took out one of our guys. So let's hope that we can take out their guys over here. As you can see, one of our units is immobilized. Both of its oars have been destroyed on both sides. You know, in a real-life situation, that ship would have to be taken back to the dock probably by another ship. But there we go. We got a major victory, which is really, really good. We actually managed to beat Carthage here. So that was a short sort of a battle there in the game, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to let me know in the comments down below, and subscribe if you're new to the channel. This is a channel that does a lot of strategy games, and I want to make sure that all of you guys are involved. One cool thing about this game as well is you can actually re-watch your victory if you want to. We're not going to do that today, but I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys will be coming back for more. That ship is starting to sink, but we're not actually getting any sinking animations. It looks like this battle was really mostly fought on the ships, not with much sinking. We did manage to sink that enemy ship, and we also were no longer stuck on it, so that would have been a perfect ram. But interesting nonetheless. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and have an awesome day. Agrippa Maxentius, out.